Let's set the record straight. Many people think well-being is just about being happy all the time. Some even believe that well-being means the absence of sadness. This misconception oversimplifies the concept of well-being, which is much more nuanced. Well-being is a hot topic that's making waves around the world. But hold on, what exactly is well-being? The term well-being is constantly thrown around in various contexts. Some people think it's all about physical fitness. You'll see it in gym ads and logos. Others say it's about nutrition. Just take a look at the cereal boxes. Some even emphasize mental health, like in all those self-care apps. But in reality, well-being is more complex than it seems. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ghazal. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to discuss what well-being really is and clear up some common misconceptions people have about it. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, leave a comment below saying I subscribed and I'll try my best to reply to as many comments as possible. Without further delay, let's explore this topic. So what exactly is well-being? You see, there's no single definition that everyone agrees on, but it generally revolves around one's evaluation of their quality of life. I define well-being as having positive outlook on one's life as well as feeling good and functioning well in different areas of life. However, remember that these criteria and priorities differ for each person. What I consider a positive evaluation of my life might be completely different than yours. What feels good for me may not be the same for you. Well-being is personal and subjective by definition. This is why there are a bunch of different academic models out there, each with its own unique take on what well-being actually means. It's like looking at well-being through different lenses, each showing a new angle. So one popular model talks about positive emotions, strong relationships, finding meaning and purpose, and achieving personal goals, while another model might focus more on self-esteem and emotional stability. This just shows how complex and multidimensional well-being really is. There's no single way to define or measure it. Now that we have briefly covered what well-being entails, it's important to address common misconceptions that can obscure its true nature. Many individuals hold narrow views on the concept of well-being, believing it to be limited to a single aspect of life. So I'm going to address some of these misconceptions. Number 1. Well-being is the same as physical wellness. Today I want to clear up a common misconception. Well-being and wellness are not the same thing. I see a lot of fitness enthusiasts on social media talking about well-being, but often they're mainly focusing on physical health and fitness. While wellness is crucial and does focus on physical health, it usually doesn't cover the entire scope of well-being. Well-being, on the other hand, is much broader. It's not just about staying fit and balanced living. It's about feeling satisfied with life, finding fulfillment, and having a good overall quality of life. It also involves functioning well in your social, psychological, spiritual, family, school, and work dimensions, not just the physical. In essence, wellness is one component of the broader concept of well-being. Understanding these distinctions gives us a more holistic view of happiness and welfare. When you get that well-being is more than just physical wellness, you'll see how comprehensive it really is. For instance, I had a client who was incredibly focused on their fitness. They hit the gym 5 times a week, ate all the right foods, and made sure they got plenty of sleep. By all measures of physical wellness, they were doing great. But despite this, they felt something was missing. They weren't particularly happy and their overall sense of well-being was low. While they were excelling in terms of physical wellness, they were neglecting other crucial aspects of their well-being like mental health and social connections. I pointed this out, and that's when it clicked for them. Wellness is just one part of the bigger picture that is well-being. Think of it this way. If wellness is like taking care of a single plant, making sure it gets the right amount of water, sunlight, and nutrients, then well-being is like tending to an entire garden. Your garden needs a variety of plants, each requiring different care to truly thrive. It's not just about one aspect, but achieving balance across many areas. So, while physical wellness focuses on physical health and fitness, well-being is a broader concept that includes psychological, social, and even spiritual dimensions. It's about feeling good and functioning well across all areas of your life. Well-being is just about psychological health. There's a common misconception that well-being is solely about psychological health. But is that really the whole picture? While psychological health is undeniably important, it's just one piece of the broader well-being puzzle. The reality is, physical, social, and even spiritual dimensions play a huge role too. When I started delving into the science of well-being, I realized it's not just about psychological and social factors, though these are extensively studied in the literature. It also includes physical, health, spiritual dimension, and for anyone who's working, how they experience their work environment. And if you're talking about children and adolescents, the complexity only increases. We need to consider their school environment, family dynamics, and how they engage in their social and educational spheres. Back when I was working as a school counselor and then as a school psychologist, I noticed something intriguing. Even though many students performed well in psychological assessments, like their ability to manage stress, their emotional stability, self-efficacy, self-control, they often felt unfulfilled and dissatisfied. That's when I discovered that while they were doing well in certain areas, their overall well-being was lacking. This gap led me to explore the growing field of positive psychology, which showed that implementing life skills training in schools could significantly improve academic, social, and psychological outcomes for kids. So I dove into this research and started developing programs that taught kids essential life skills like money management, grit, courage, and assertiveness. However, I wanted such programs to be evidence-based to ensure their effectiveness. This led me to pursue my doctoral research on factors predicting adolescent well-being. My goal was to identify what truly contributes to positive outcomes for adolescents and to create programs grounded in solid research that could make a real difference. My research, along with others in the field, revealed that well-being is genuinely multidimensional. It involves psychological, social, spiritual, and physical health, and for adults, it includes how they're doing at work, and for children and adolescents, it also includes how they're doing at school. Think about it like this. If an adolescent is struggling at school, but doing well in their friendships and family life, their overall well-being can still be off balance. Or if they're acing their exams but feeling isolated and unsupported at home, that's going to affect their sense of well-being too. So, to truly understand well-being, we must integrate all these dimensions. It's not just about mental or psychological health, but achieving a balanced approach that includes physical fitness, social interactions, spiritual wellness, workplace well-being, and more. Well-being is only about happiness. Let's set the record straight. Many people think well-being is just about being happy all the time. Some even believe that well-being means the absence of sadness. This misconception oversimplifies the concept of well-being, which is much more nuanced. Happiness or positive emotion is only one key aspect of subjective well-being. It also includes life satisfaction and affect equilibrium. So what is affect equilibrium? The presence of positive affect or happiness does not mean the absence of negative affect. Rather, affect equilibrium is about balancing positive and negative emotions so that neither overwhelms your overall sense of well-being. It's not about eliminating sadness, but managing and integrating these feelings effectively. Look, life is inherently a mix of highs and lows. You might find joy and satisfaction in a fulfilling job, but also face stressful periods. Similarly, You could have strong relationships that bring happiness, but still encounter occasional conflicts or difficulties. The key to maintaining well-being isn't avoiding negative emotions, but balancing them with positive ones. So, well-being is about more than just fleeting happiness. It's a blend of experiencing positive emotions, achieving life satisfaction, and maintaining a balance between positive and negative feelings to create a more comprehensive sense of well-being. Well-being has a single universal definition. There's a common belief that well-being has a single universal definition, while it actually varies greatly from person to person. This misconception overlooks the diversity in how well-being is defined and understood across various contexts and studies. Think about it. There are tons of different ways to define and understand well-being. Some models focus on positive emotions, good relationships, meaning and purpose, and accomplishments. Others might prioritize self-esteem and emotional stability. It really depends on who you ask and what angle they are coming from. You might know that researchers are actively exploring how to define well-being by examining everyday understandings of it. During my PhD research under Professor Aaron Jardin, renowned for his work on prototype analysis of well-being, we investigated how adolescents define their own well-being. For more on this topic, I highly recommend checking out the International Journal of Wellbeing. I have put the links below. Understanding how people perceive well-being is crucial because their ideas about what makes them feel good and function well can vary widely. This is especially true for children and adolescents whose views on well-being can differ significantly from those of adults. To truly understand and improve well-being, it is therefore crucial to know what well-being means to you personally. If you're focused on the well-being of your children or students, gathering their perspectives on what well-being means to them is equally important. Their views are essential for developing effective strategies to support and enhance their well-being. Overall, the literature indicates that well-being is a comprehensive concept characterized by several components that may vary depending on a person's experience, age, and country. For example, in a study by Lucy Hone, a renowned expert in the field of resilience, on adults' perceptions of well-being, adults defined well-being as good mental health, physical health, good relationships, work-life balance, and feeling valued. In contrast, adolescents in my research viewed being safe and being kind and helpful as crucial for their well-being. Similarly, kids in developed countries have a different notion of well-being compared to those in developing countries, where well-being might include being joyful, wearing clean clothes, and having electronic goods. So here's the takeaway. There's no single definition of well-being. It's a combination of many different components that change from person to person. Understanding this diversity is key to really getting what well-being is all about and how we can help everyone achieve it. While people might also assume well-being is the same for everyone, the fact is that well-being is highly individual and depends on personal needs, experiences, age, preferences, and circumstances. One-size-fits-all solutions work for improving well-being. Sure, we can extrapolate that a certain percentage of people find specific factors important for their well-being, or we can identify the strength of relationships between well-being and various variables and generalize based on effect sizes of associations. This is in fact incredibly valuable as it helps us identify trends, set priorities, and create broad strategies to improve overall well-being. But to make a real impact, we need to focus on the individual. Again, each person's experience of well-being is unique, influenced by their own perceptions, age group, preferences, and needs. By tailoring approaches to the individual and providing personalized support, we can more effectively address the nuances of each person's well-being journey. And while qualitative approaches can provide valuable insights into the components of well-being, it is also crucial to understand how these components are perceived by lay people using mixed methods that include both quantitative and qualitative investigations. Basically, just like precision medicine tailors treatment to individual needs, our approach to well-being should be equally personalized. Everyone is unique. So understanding your own definition of well-being is crucial for assessing and improving it. Without this tailored approach, how can you truly know what will enhance your well-being? So the first step toward making meaningful changes that truly resonate with you is by embracing your personal perspective. In essence, while general trends provide a foundation for understanding and improving well-being, individualizing these approaches can foster even more meaningful and sustainable improvements in your life. Well-being is a permanent state. Many people assume that well-being is a permanent state one can achieve and maintain, like finding the perfect balance and staying there forever. But the reality is that well-being is much more dynamic and changes over time. It's a journey, not a destination. Consider this. You might feel on top of the world one day, full of energy and positivity. But the next day, you could be dealing with unexpected stress or challenges. Well-being fluctuates based on various factors, such as your health, relationships, work environment, and even daily experiences. Think about it like maintaining a garden. You can't just plant flowers and expect them to bloom forever without any effort. You need to water them, provide sunlight, prune the plants, and sometimes deal with pests. Similarly, maintaining well-being requires ongoing effort and adaptation to changing circumstances. Empirical research supports this view. Studies show that life events, both positive and negative, significantly impact our sense of well-being. For instance, getting a promotion at work can boost your happiness, while facing a family illness can create stress and sadness. Similarly, transitioning to a new school can decline well-being for adolescents. The key is to develop coping strategies to navigate these ups and downs. Imagine you've just started a new fitness routine and you're feeling great. Your physical health improves and you experience a boost in mood and energy. But then you get injured. This setback can affect not only your physical well-being, but also your emotional state. The important thing is how you respond. Do you adjust your routine, find alternative ways to stay active, and seek support from friends or professionals? Or do you let it derail your progress entirely? Well-being is about managing these changes and finding balance. It's not about being happy all the time or eliminating all negative emotions. Well-being is a dynamic, ever-changing state. It is influenced by a multitude of factors and requires continuous attention and adaptation. Recognizing this can help you approach your well-being with a more flexible and resilient mindset, allowing you to thrive even amidst life's inevitable fluctuations. Higher income always increases happiness. This misconception suggests that increasing income will always lead to increased happiness. However, evidence shows diminishing returns on happiness beyond a certain income threshold. Does income significantly influence happiness? The debate is still ongoing. Sure, we all know that money can buy you a lot, like access to fancy goods, unforgettable experiences, top-notch healthcare, and even that dream trip to the Bahamas. But let's be honest, can it truly buy you lasting happiness? Empirical studies reveal only a modest correlation between income and happiness. While wealthier nations generally report higher levels of happiness, within-nation studies show that beyond a certain income threshold, additional income has diminishing returns on personal happiness. This suggests that while income up to a point can enhance happiness by meeting basic needs and providing comfort, there is more to happiness than just a bigger paycheck. Moreover, there are notable differences in happiness across income groups. Wealthier individuals often report higher happiness scores compared to those in lower income brackets, supporting the idea that income does impact happiness, but not universally. Consider this. You get a significant raise at work. Initially, you're thrilled. You can afford better housing, enjoy more leisure activities, and feel more secure about your future. But over time, the happiness boost from this raise may diminish. Your basic needs and desires are met, and the extra income doesn't bring the same level of joy as it initially did. In fact, your happiness might now depend more on non-material aspects of life, such as relationships, personal growth, and how you spend your time. Research shows that once people reach a certain income level, enough to cover their needs and provide some comfort, additional income has a much smaller impact on overall happiness. This insight aligns with the idea that well-being is dynamic, not static. Just as well-being fluctuates with life's ups and downs, the impact of income on happiness can also change. The initial boost in happiness from increased income may wane, highlighting the importance of focusing on other aspects of life to maintain a balanced and fulfilling sense of well-being. In essence, while money can enhance your life, it's not the sole determinant of happiness. Recognizing this can help you focus on what truly matters in your pursuit of well-being. Well-being is only about preventing and treating mental illness. Many people think that well-being is solely about the absence of mental illness. This misconception reduces the concept of well-being to merely not being sick, when in reality it encompasses so much more. While preventing and treating mental illness are crucial components, they're just part of the broader picture of what it means to be well. Think of well-being as a spectrum. On one end, you have the absence of illness, but on the other, there's flourishing, where you're not just free from disease, but are actually flourishing in various aspects of your life. Imagine someone who doesn't have any mental illness, but feels disconnected, lacks purpose, and struggles with maintaining relationships. Are they truly experiencing well-being? Probably not. Well-being involves positive mental health, which, according to the World Health Organization, not only includes the absence of illness, but also the presence of positive states of well-being. It's about feeling good and functioning well, not just the absence of negative conditions. Suppose you've just recovered from a bout of depression. Overcoming depression is a significant achievement and your mental health has improved, but it doesn't automatically mean your well-being is at its peak. To enhance your well-being further, you might start focusing on building strong social connections, finding activities that bring you joy, and pursuing goals that give your life meaning. Martin Seligman, a pioneer in positive psychology, emphasizes that well-being is about flourishing, not just surviving. His PERMA model highlights 5 key elements of well-being: positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment. This model shows that while mental health is a part of well-being, it's also about how engaged you are with life, the quality of your relationships, whether you find your life meaningful, and your sense of accomplishment. So well-being is a multifaceted concept that goes beyond the absence of illness. It's about cultivating a fulfilling, balanced life where you can thrive. While preventing and treating mental illness are essential steps, they are just the beginning of a more comprehensive journey toward overall well-being. Well-being isn't just about avoiding mental illness. It's about thriving and flourishing in various dimensions of life, emotionally, physically, socially, psychologically, and spiritually. By broadening your understanding of well-being, you can aim not just to survive, but to truly flourish. Well-being is the same as resilience. Okay, let's clear this up. Many people think well-being and resilience are the same thing, but they're actually quite distinct. Lucy Hone, a renowned expert on resilience, offers a powerful perspective on the meaning of resilience. Instead of thinking of resilience as merely bouncing back to where you were before a setback, she describes it as crawling forward. This means embracing the slow, effortful process of adapting to new circumstances that shape and change you. It's not about returning to a prior state, but evolving and moving forward despite difficulties. Imagine someone who loses their job. Instead of just getting back to their old routine, they need to adapt to a new reality, perhaps by learning new skills or exploring different career paths. This process can be challenging and gradual, reflecting Hone's concept of resilience as a transformative journey rather than a quick return to normal. In contrast, well-being is a broader, more comprehensive state. It encompasses not only how we handle adversity, but also how we experience positive aspects of life, including joy, life satisfaction, and overall health. Well-being includes maintaining a balance between positive and negative emotions, finding meaning and purpose, and nurturing good relationships. To dive deeper into resilience, I highly recommend checking out Lucy Hone's books and podcasts. So while resilience focuses on how we cope and grow through tough times, well-being is about the overall quality of life, including feeling good and functioning well. They complement each other, but they serve different purposes in our journey toward a fulfilling life. Well-being can be achieved quickly. Achieving well-being is not a fast-track process. It is not a quick fix or a shortcut. Achieving true well-being is a long-term journey, not a destination you can reach overnight. Just as you can't grow a thriving garden in a day, you can't achieve lasting well-being with a single action or a quick change. It requires consistent effort, care, and attention over time. You need to plant the seeds of positive habits, nurture them through daily practices, and adjust to the evolving needs of your life. Imagine you start a new exercise routine or practice mindfulness. Initially, you might feel a burst of enthusiasm and see some immediate benefits. It happens to all of us. But for those benefits to become a stable part of your life, you need to maintain these practices regularly. It's the sustained effort that brings about long-term changes in your overall well-being. Empirical research supports this perspective, showing that gradual, consistent changes in lifestyle and mindset contribute more effectively to long-term well-being than quick fixes. Whether it's improving your physical health, developing deeper relationships, or finding greater life satisfaction, the process involves ongoing personal growth and adaptation. Achieving genuine well-being isn't about finding a quick solution. It's about committing to a continuous process of growth and self-care. Just like a well-tended garden takes time to flourish, your journey towards lasting well-being requires patience, effort, and perseverance. So there you have it. 10 common misconceptions about well-being debunked. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights on enhancing your well-being. For personalized consultations, check the links below. Take care and see you in the next video.